Hello, everybody. It's Talk Football Live, and we're back again with a new episode. I've got Charles with me, and we've got DG of Charlotte, here with us tonight. He's a Man U fan. He's a new face to the show.
Yeah,
Welcome,
welcome.
DG. How are you?
I'm fine. Nice to meet you, Y. Nice to meet you, Charles.
Thank you.
Good, 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 good.
Welcome.
We're going to be talking a little bit about Man U today. So, as we try to do, we want to get that fans' perspective. But we're actually going to kick it off with Liverpool. So, a few topics we'll cover tonight. We'll talk about Liverpool. Liverpool is spending big after almost not spending last summer. They're spending massive amounts of money this summer. How
Yep.
are they able to afford it? There are a few clubs that we've seen that are spending a lot of money, but Liverpool is a very interesting case that we're going to dive into. And then we're also going to talk about the fact that is Man U back? How is Man U looking like ahead of the new season? And we've been seeing some summer friendlies as well from EPL teams. So we want to also take a look at how teams are faring in preseason, what we're looking like. If you guys recall last season, we talked about Liverpool. Beto and I talked about Liverpool, and we said Liverpool is looking really good in preseason. We think they can win the league, and we saw that. So preseason for us is an indication of how teams are shaping up going into the season, and we'll talk about that. So let's dive into it. Liverpool. So Liverpool have signed, and we'll pull it up, but Liverpool have signed a record signing, foreign words, right?
Mm.
Was it 130 million?
How about that? Yep.
They've signed Florian Wirtz. Sorry, they've signed Ekitike
It's okay.
as a striker.
Yeah.
How much is that? 90, 95 million?
Yeah, I think in euros. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 95 euros.
So just on those two players alone, right, over 200 million.
That's
But
200.
they haven't stopped there. They've also signed
Frimpong?
Kerkez, Frimpong, yep, for 35 million, or was it 30 million?
A
They
good
signed
deal.
Kerkez
Yeah, both good deals.
for 40 million, so another 75 million there. Did you mention someone else?
I think there's one more person.
I think it's five players or
Uh,
something.
Yeah,
I
so
was
it's
just
Ketike, Frimpong, Kekers,
Lauren.
from words.
Yeah.
I can't recall, but I think there's one more person.
so let's pull up the transfers and take a look at it for
And
Liverpool.
of course, we know there's Isak coming, right? That's the big one.
Are they? Are they? Okay. Yeah, let's pull up what Liverpool have done so far. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So here are the key transfers. And we're gonna go down to Liverpool.
They sold Luis Diaz. I think that's what I was thinking about.
Yeah, to Bayern. Oh, okay.
So Luis
Yeah,
Diaz is for good money too.
I don't know if that deal is confirmed, right? But
Oh,
that's
it's
oh,
done.
okay, it's confirmed.
Yeah.
So that's a big factor in how they're able to afford players. So I
Yes.
think one of the key things with it all comes down to accounting, right?
Yes.
These mago people. Accounting is such an interesting topic. It's pluses and minuses, but how you do your pluses and minuses is what it all comes down to. So with
Yep.
transfers, when you buy a player and you sign them, say on a 5-year contract, so let's say you pay 100 million for a player and you sign them on a 5-year contract, they're able to amortize the cost of that transfer fee over all 5 years. So essentially, what it shows up on the books for this year is they paid 20 million for that player.
Yep.
And so even though they've spent what close to 300 million now, if those players are all on 5-year contracts, it essentially shows up on their books as 60 million for this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you take into account the fact that they've just sold Luis Diaz for what 75 million,
Mm-hmm.
Euros. Yeah. That's almost
they're
like
able,
million
they
pound.
yeah, whatever the number, I'm going with euros. They're
Yeah.
able to
Less than
put
2 euros. Yeah.
they're able to put that number on the books immediately.
Yep.
And so they can bank that as a profit against how much they paid for him directly. So I think they paid what 30 million when they bought him. So on their books, it'll show up as a $45 million profit right away, which means technically in accounting terms, they've only spent 15 million this year. Which means when you take into account the fact that they've done really well over the course of this season, right? So I think you get about 40 million for winning the league,
Winning the
in
league.
addition to the 120 million or so that every team gets for being in the Premiership. So that's about 160 million in income,
That's TV,
right?
right?
TV rights,
Right, for TV rights.
Yeah.
and I'm sure they have sponsorship deals also too.
They
And
have
then
sponsorship deals. They
they,
didn't spend last summer, right? I think they brought in Endo. I don't remember for how much. Very cheap,
and then I
10,
think they
20
also
million.
deal with Adidas.
They signed a new deal with Adidas. I think
Yep.
101, sorry, how much is like a billion over 10 years? Something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
About
that's Man City. Man City. That's the one for Man City. 1 billion with Puma.
With
no,
Puma,
no,
yeah. Man City had, but I
Liverpool
believe
has
Adidas signed a deal as well.
the numbers
No,
are
I think Man City is actually the biggest deal for a sponsorship.
Oh,
So
Man City, yes, yes, yes.
one
That
billion.
is the record deal.
Yeah,
so Liverpool's may not be up to 1 billion, but it's quite significant.
close. Yeah,
It's
probably 800 or like 900 or something.
still a lot of money. So they didn't really spend last summer. They still got the same 120 million from TV rights last season. They finished third in the league, so it's not like they didn't make another $30 million or so. So they're flush with cash at the moment and they're spending it. Now the question is, why is it now that they are spending that money, right? So there's conversation that's been had about the fact that for a few years they didn't have a football director. Michael Edwards left and came back. And when they're looking at the succession of their team, right? Andy Robertson, we can see was starting to age out. If you looked at his performances in the league last season, starting to age out. What's his name?
Trent,
Trent left,
Mm.
right? So there were clear upgrades needed in that fullback area.
yep.
Midfield, they actually did a full rebuild of that midfield, if you guys recall, like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? They brought in Gravenberch, they brought in McAllister, they brought in Soboslai, and they let Fabinho and Henderson go at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this is part of their regular
Rebuild.
rebuild. Now, I'm going to pose a question to you guys. All the signings done, do you guys think Liverpool still have what it takes to fight for the league or win the league again this season?
Would you want to go first?
Charles, go ahead.
Um, in simplified answer, yes, they do. I know how it's a lot of work to defend the league, defend winning the league, But Man City has done it over and over. Man U have done it in the past. It's been done, so I know it can be done. But I also think, based on what you said, looking at what you did, they are not just buying for buying sake. I'm not saying Man City is buying for buying sake. If you compare it to the way Man City bought like 5 players in January and the players they're buying now in the summer, Man City, I think they were buying to replace one person, really. They were targeting when Rodri had his injury. It was a panic buy. Compared to how Liverpool is buying right now, I'm not saying that will affect Man City because Man City, they still have Pep, like I always say. He will know how to play, pick and plug out his players eventually. Liverpool are buying specific players to replace specific players. We mentioned Frimpong to replace Trent. Kirkers to replace Henderson eventually because Henderson is aging out. They brought in Florian Wirtz to just bolster their attack. And we also know, unfortunately, they lost Jota. Rest in peace, Jota. So they are buying players to bolster their attack. They brought in Ekitike, who can also play on the wings, but he was originally a striker. Even though Luis Diaz is gone, there are still rumors they're bringing in Isak. So if we think about Gakpo, Ekitike, Darwin Núñez is still there, and their midfield is already strong with the likes of Soboslai,
McAllister,
Gravenberch. Endo is still there. If I'm not mistaken, Endo didn't leave, right?
Yep, Endo is there. Yep.
So to answer your question, they're strong. I don't know who they are. Keller is just backup goalkeeper who is very decent.
They sold him.
No,
in my opinion,
they sold Keller, but they've brought in Madashvili, who they bought last summer.
Yeah,
he's here now.
Exactly. So the truth about it is, they still have. In fact, arguably they have a stronger squad. Especially if I know the only exit that I think was a big deal is Luis Diaz,
Diaz.
and also because, like I mentioned, Jota is no longer playing, is no longer here. So Eketike clicking is still is the big debate, but they have Gakpo, who is played on left for a reasonable amount of times, so that should not be too difficult. They have Eketike coming in, like I said, and then Nunes is still there, which he may go, but we don't know yet. And then there's Isak, who, in my opinion, is the strongest, one of the best striker in the league, in my opinion. So to answer your question, is can they do it? Yes, I think they can. They still have their core in defense, which is Van Dijk. They have their goalkeeper. They have their core superstar attacker in Salah, and their midfield did not change. Technically, it's improved. Right. So why can't they do it? I think they can. Okay. So yeah, I'm not gonna easily say they will, but if they get Isak, I will most likely lean towards them getting the league again.
Okay, so we'll discuss that later if they do get Isak and see how that shapes things up. Yeah. DJ of Shadow, let's come to Man U, because you guys have made big signings. We talked about that last week. We said, really good signings from Man U. The Rio Ferdinand post. You guys have brought in Cunha and Mbeumo.
Yeah.
For me, solid signings. Upgrade on what you guys had in attack, which was somewhere that you guys struggled a lot last season. How are you feeling? Is Man U back? Is it a squad that is ready to challenge for the title, or is this a squad that we're looking to get back into top 4, top 6? Because you guys finished 15th last season.
Well, for the title, I would say no.
Okay.
To be sincere. So if maybe come next year May and we are winning the title, you can play this video again and be like, yeah, because that will be a surprise. I think the thing the club is trying to do right now is trying to increase the physical flow of the team. And there's a statement made by Ferguson years back saying you can't win the league without having players that have played in the league. In fact, there was a point that there's a rumor. Then I would say like a statement. I will not say a rumor. A statement like, if you want to win the league, get an English midfielder. That's why you could see there was difference when Lampard was playing for Chelsea. That's why you could see Ferguson going deep, getting Carrick from Tottenham. Because these guys are actually guys that will drive. They know the league, so they don't need time to adapt. There was a reason why Ferguson was chasing after Shearer in Newcastle, trying to get Shearer, I think from Blackburn then, before he moved into Newcastle.
Yeah.
Then he went ahead and get Dimitrov, Berbatov. So getting the two guys, Koran and Mbeumo, is actually a plus for us, because these guys, I think someone was doing a little bit of calculation between them today, between Koran, Mbeumo, and incoming Sesko. We'll be having an attack that has over 50 plus goals and almost 20 plus assists.
You understand? Don't count their chickens before they hatch.
No. It's just like you said, coming from they are so good. Don't get me wrong. Garnacho and Rashford, they are good, but coming from those two, now having good wingers that give returns, end products. Imagine having someone like. Anytime I see Mbeumo, I see someone like Salah, our own kind of Salah. Yeah, it might not be in level with Salah right now. It might not be at the same level or something, but I see someone that can give you goals, that can give you assists. Then Koeman, I've been following Koeman since the days of Atletico, and I think and I think he moved from Atletico down to Wolves, right?
Yeah, was that Wolves?
Yeah. So before he moved, I was like, when you say kind of player in Atletico, he was playing the flank, not as an attacker or something. Was playing from the flank. So having a player that can build something out of nothing is an advantage. So I would say for now, this team, I'll rate them going into the season top four.
Top
In
four.
in
Top
in,
four.
in fact, if I'm going to deeper, I can say top six,
Okay.
because the idea right now that I want from this team is the fact that be able to beat the lesser teams. Yeah, if you lose against Arsenal, or draw against Arsenal, or draw against Chelsea, lose against Chelsea, that's fine. But
Okay.
if you see Sutherland beat them, if you
Right.
see any lower club, Bournemouth, Newcastle, win that game. But if you're still losing points against Man City, because that's one of the secrets of the league that majority of people don't understand. Yes,
Yeah.
when you beat a top six club, it gives you the edge, the boost, then it gives you additional. But if you can beat the other 17 or 16 clubs, oh man away, bro, you are going for the league. It's as simple. Go ahead
Right.
and don't even go as Ferguson. Go back to Pep. You notice the way they beat all those clubs
Yeah.
4-0.
Pep never loses to the small teams.
Yeah, he would not. But by the time he's against Manchester United, maybe against Oli, he'll probably lose 2-0. And you'll be like,
Mm.
oh, the bragging rights that we all have and everything for a week or something. But by May, they're lifting the league.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, in no conclusion, sincerely, I would say top six, top four at
Okay.
most. We are not good for the league yet because and the advantage that we have for a top four is because we have one game a week.
Okay.
One,
That is true.
one game. Yeah, it's an advantage. Take it or leave it. It's
Yep.
an
Yeah.
advantage. One game a week. And for Amorin, I was reading some reports regarding this, that they never had the opportunity of doing a full
Mm.
session because of it came in January, right?
Mhm.
And they were in between games after games, games after games, then playing the cup, playing the Europa League, playing this. So right now is the time to have that full session
Yeah,
with
and
players.
I think I agree because when I watched Liverpool towards sorry, when I watched you guys Manchester United towards the end of the season, there seemed to be a better understanding because right away when he came, right, he switched into that 3-4-3 formation,
Yeah,
and the first couple of games you could tell that those players didn't really know what they were supposed to be doing. They struggled with getting out of the back, they
yeah,
struggled with attacking.
yeah,
Diallo bailed you guys out a couple of times, Ahmad, but overall the structure wasn't there. But towards the end of the season, even though you guys still lost some games, and I think that accounts for why you were able to make it to the final, there was better understanding in what to do in every phase of the play, which is something I always talk about here, right? As a coach, as someone, if you watch games properly, right, and you talk about new players coming into the league, or a new manager comes in, it takes time to understand what to do, for the team to understand what to do in every phase of the play.
Yeah.
Where do you position on things as simple as throw-ins? Where do you stand when you're defending a throw-in versus attacking a throw-in? Where do you position yourself on free kicks? How do you attack corners? Every phase of play, it takes time for a team to build that understanding. And
yeah.
for Man U, you started to see that towards the end of the season. I'm seeing it again in preseason. Again, I think I'll agree with you. I don't think Man U is good enough for the league, but I think they're good enough, definitely at the worst for top eight. I think Man U will definitely be back in the top eight.
Just as a reference point, if you go back to watch the match against Aston Villa, you will
Mm,
see the signs. You will see the signs, and more than what people are actually ready to talk about, there was an environment issue with Manchester United over the years. Like the environment was not where it's supposed to be. You
interesting.
you could get the news that a lot of shaking ups are happening, changing the structure. One of the reasons why Inos actually won the bid to buy the sporting aspect of the club was the fact that they were able to present a project that talks about the fact that this club needs to focus on sports. Yeah, we are making the money from commercials, from a lot of deals that is going on, but we are losing the identity which is known for the club, which is a sporting aspect of the club. So, Inos coming in, taking over the sporting aspect and trying to restructure this over the years is something that is really good. Sincerely, you could see they employed a Formula One data scientist as at today. They employed another person from the Formula One guy is one that is the data scientist from Mercedes Formula One, and I think he's been with them for 8 years, and that means the guy has won championships with, so he can translate this data into something good for the club. And I think there's this other lady, I can't recall their names right now, that the people manager, that's like the HR, that will be coming in to help with this. So the environment is changing. If you listen to Shaw's interview that he did like a day ago, I think 2 days ago, he was talking about the environment, even though he was not saying it clearly in the language that that people will probably pick up those words and accuse people. He was technically talking about environment. The environment has changed. Now we have players. I can tell you one of my favorite I won't say summer buy, the recent buy was the Evan guy, Aiden.
Aiden.
Yeah, that guy is so good. Imagine that guy coming in.
I wasn't happy about that transfer at all.
Yeah, imagine that guy coming in and that guy filling in into Lisandro's shoe. You know, today I was thinking on it, saying people didn't pay attention. Our season crashed at some point, but people didn't pay attention to when it crashed. It crashed when Lisandro had an injury.
Yeah.
We lost that left side of the defense that could throw in the passes, the true pass, and everything. But Aiden came in and he kicked in.
Aiden came from heaven to save you guys.
I'm still waiting for Chido.
So Arsenal is heaven. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for Chido. Chido is going to pick it up. That's why I
wasn't happy about that one either.
Yeah.
We actually needed him last season, right? After Kai got injured, he would have been starting for Arsenal. He would have been playing maybe not starting, but he would have been playing regularly.
True.
Probably more than he played at Man U. But he got impatient.
But you could agree that through that move by Chido, Ateta was forced to start using someone like Lewis Kelly, someone like this other guy that plays.
No, Lewis Kelly came into the team around November, December. He came in after we had injuries to both Zinchenko and Calafiori. Calafiori was supposed to be the guy coming in to replace Zinchenko, but he started having injuries.
Is he back right now, Calafiori?
Ooh. Yeah. Well, he got injured again in the last game, so we don't know how. They said he won't play tomorrow, but he got an injury in the last game.
Okay.
Against who did we play?
Let me jump in here. I have a follow-up question for you.
Yeah, Charles.
Both of you. So we talked earlier a lot of what you were saying made sense in the sense of Manchester United being fourth, being sixth. I'm not sure about fourth. Sixth, I can rock with. I think they still need more time to get their Amorim system to be able to push for fourth. Considering the likes of Newcastle, Aston Villa, Chelsea, Arsenal, City, Liverpool, that's already 6 teams that kind of already have a stable system. I think fourth is a little. But I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's impossible.
Six is possible because I have a question mark over Villa. I haven't seen them, and they haven't done much business in the transfer.
Okay.
Well, go to your question, Charles.
But I agree. But considering where Villa ended last season, even while playing in Europe, and here they're going to play in a lower Europe, and they can still do better. But anyway, so my question. So last season, and this happened across a lot of talk shows about Amorim and his system. Is it fair for him to come in and pose the system on the team, or should he just do what will work at that point and get results? Now we can say he pushed the system on the team and they were losing a lot of games, but he kept pushing them to play the system. And of course, it's like riding a bike. The more you do it, the better you get at it. Now we are saying that they're getting better at it and they're playing into a new season. But of course, they lost out on a good position on the league. They lost out on Champions League position. They lost out on a trophy in Europa League. Do you think Amorim got it right? Or it's kind of too soon to say that, but do you think he should have just done what works to win games, win a trophy, and then when the season ended, then switch to his style and start training them on his style? What do you think he should have really done?
Okay.
I'll let you go first, DG, but I'll bring up the current lineup as we're
Okay.
watching mine you're actually playing, so we can use that as a reference, the lineup
Oh,
and the formation.
so I will start with a timeline for you, Charles. So the the thing about Amorin is the fact that he did the same thing in Sporting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So uh it started with the environment, selling players, setting up the standard. One thing I love about him is the fact that no player is above the club when it comes to Amorim. So
Right.
if you check the history, let us come from Sporting. What he's doing right now in Manchester United. He did that in Sporting. Sold the best player, move everyone.
Mm,
Got Jokeres from Coventry. All of us are seeing the record in Coventry, but not much clubs were really going in for him. Like I think I saw an interview recently from Marco Silva, I think, the one of Forum or something, saying
yeah.
the truth is some of the lower league clubs were actually going for him, but he preferred going to Sporting at that moment in time.
Mm.
Mm,
You understand? So they changed their recruitment. He's setting the tone. He worked with everything. For years that they've not won the league, boom, they start winning the league. They start winning Cubs. They're winning the championship and everything.
mm,
They're even going far in the Champions League, if not that he left in the middle of the season. You understand? He brought Sporting back to a good place. Now, coming into Manchester United, the idea, and for your information, Man City was after him.
Mm.
Man City was after him also because of Pep. You know, that was the time Pep was having issue with contract negotiation. Like, I feel Pep just wants to leave football for now, but he's just holding it in. I
Yeah.
think
mm.
so. Sincerely, I think Pep wants to leave because I'm hearing again that saying um, after football he wants to take like a
After
deal,
City.
yeah, after the deal or something. So Ineos brought in this guy to come and do the same thing because of that record. Now, Manchester United have been getting it wrong in transfers for many years. Let's be sincere.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yep.
have been buying players just for a coach,
Yeah.
not for the system that is available
Mm-hmm.
at that moment in time. See,
The quality of the player.
yeah,
Yeah.
I will tell you one thing. The reason why Liverpool won the league or um, last season was the fact that there was a continuous transition from club from club down to the new coach. The new coach didn't change anything. They have a system, use the data, got a coach that plays the same system, brought in that coach. If you notice, the guy didn't change anything.
Uh-huh.
They have the players. That's the reason why they won the league. It's not because the guy is really good. I saw the game here. I think it was in South Carolina with Manchester United in preseason. I watched the Liverpool team against Manchester United. I saw the way they play. You understand?
Mm,
It didn't change anything. It's the same players, the same team. They just got a little bit of new players for the midfield or something, and they play the same system, and it worked. Like AY said earlier, they they are they're just doing their business this summer.
mm,
Okay.
mm-hmm.
So now Amorin has the right to bring in the system. When they asked him, he thought about the fact that there will be, what did he say, sir? He said we will suffer, but he won't change that system.
Yeah.
And the players need to adapt. So when I started earlier, I said the transfer right now is buying towards the physical flow of the team, which
Mm,
means they are buying players right now that will fit into any coach. If Amorin is to leave tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
a new coach comes in and be like, I want to play 4-4-2, I want to play four at the back or anything, these players will be able to adapt. So
mm,
so what he did is for him to succeed, and I support that, and it's good. It's something that when you know it works, then you stick with it. So I will always support him in that aspect regarding that. And for your
Even though you lost out on Champions League football.
for a bit of information again, someone posted it today on X saying if you go ahead and watch the Nice club in France, and I think Lucerne club, I think that one is in Denmark or something, owned by Ineos, they start playing three at the back. So they actually transition.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
they 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 are trying to make it a system that if a new coach is coming, they can bring in someone from Nice, they can bring someone from. So they are creating a system that
Mm,
works for everybody. So that's my take on that.
Okay.
interesting. Okay. So
Thank you.
let's move on now and look at how teams are faring ahead of the season. We've talked about Man U. Man U are playing right now and they're up 2-0 against Bournemouth in the uh in EPL summer series. There are
Yep.
four teams taking place participating in that in the US. So Man U, Everton, Bournemouth, and I'm missing one team.
Everton, Bournemouth, Man U, West Ham.
West,
West Ham, thank you. Man U also played West Ham a couple days ago, right at the weekend, and beat West Ham 2-1. West Ham won their game today, and they beat Everton 3-0. So Everton seem to be with the ones that I've seen that are struggling ahead of the new season. I don't know if you guys have caught many other games. Liverpool are having a mixed results. I'll bring up some of those games for us to take a look at. Liverpool, they've won two, lost one. Here, let's do this.
1-2 lost one. That's not so bad.
Yeah, so they lost to Milan. One thing that I noticed there was they were very porous. So they had possession for most of the game. In fact, if we look at the game and we look at the stats, I'm sure the stats will show us, right? Possession was 69%. So they completely dominated that game, but they were very porous on the counter. So I think Van Dijk and Konate both didn't play this game. Where's the lineup?
no, Van Dijk was the one
Van
that,
Dijk started,
yeah.
but went off. Gravenberch played. I think I don't know what happened here, but their defense seemed very porous. At least I saw. I didn't watch the whole game, but of the last, I think 45 minutes or so that I saw, they were very porous on the counter attacks through the middle. I think at that point Van Dijk had gone off. So that's what I've seen from Liverpool so far, and that's maybe one area where they're struggling going into the new season. I don't know if they're going to bring in Guehi as well this summer, or if they're really going to go in with just uh, Konate and Van Dijk, because the only backup to those two is Joe Gomez, who is not as good as those two and sometimes gets injured.
Yeah.
Are there any other teams that you guys have observed?
Newcastle is doing badly,
Okay, okay.
and they have internal issues. The Isaac issue is something that they didn't expect. Uh,
Hmm.
You really think that's affecting them that much?
yeah, I think they did a good business in getting a Langa.
Yep.
Langa on the right, then Godon on the left is actually a good business for them. But they they I I'm still not convinced about them in the long run. If they,
When they played against us Arsenal, they actually played Alanga on the left, if I recall correctly. Okay, he was on the right. Okay,
yeah,
never mind. Okay,
so
yeah.
so this is showing they have a good midfield. The Tonali and Gomes are really good, and even Joe Willock is good.
Hmm.
But um, I think I still think they need to do something regarding Isaac. Either Isaac
Yeah,
stays, if he stays, is an advantage for them. If
because
he's to
they've
go,
lost Callum Wilson. They don't have any backup striker at
yeah,
the moment.
They have
um,
Usula.
Yeah, Bosula is young, right? He's not
Yes,
a. I mean, it's a significant drop in quality off from Isaac
I
and
agree.
Wilson.
So the Isaac issue, I personally don't think the Isaac issue is a big deal. I think with the money they're gonna get from Isaac, which so the Isaac issue is not about something that they have to debate or they already laid their price. Liverpool already agreed personal terms with Isaac. Rumor has it Liverpool already wants to pay the British record fee. I think at this point they should start focusing on getting someone. With that money, they can get two players, really.
no, and I think
Let's
that's
go
what
on
the problem is. The problem is not them wanting the money. The
say that one
problem
more
for
time.
them is they, they want continuation. They want to build on
But
what they
not with
are.
a player who has accepted personal terms with the other club. Isaac has made it clear he wants to leave. it's not about wanting the money or not. You know, when a player wants to leave and the buyer already has the money offered, they're probably not going to get that fee from anyone else. So the option is to make him run down his contracts and then lose him for free. It's probably not going to happen.
No, see, you are right, 100%. You are right. Well, what I'm saying is that Newcastle are not after the money.
I know, but it's not just about the money at the point.
Yeah.
If the player, if it's that they are thinking about selling, and the player says I want to stay, then they're still pushing to sell, then it's different. But this case, the player wants to stay, wants to leave, the buyer wants to buy. There's really not much else to discuss. If the player wanted to stay and the buyer is still pushing, different case. And they are offering the money. Honestly, we still have about 30 or so days to the end of the window. They can get strikers. They are going for Sesko right now, challenging Manchester United. We know they're probably going to spend more money than Manchester United, probably pay Sesko more. I think this Isak issue is not that much of a big deal. Let him go, get the money, buy Sesko, bring it back up from the academy or something, and keep it moving.
I think they should just go for Boniface. I don't know why Boniface just came to mind.
That's another name. That's the thing. There are options out there. Holding to Isak is not an option when Isak was.
Yeah. And I think it's the same thing, the same condition that is going on with Aston Villa. With
Oli Watkins?
Yeah. Watkins actually wants to leave because if you remember, Arsenal went for him in January. And right now is one of the options that but they want to keep him because for them, I think this summer is basically about the striker market.
Yes.
Yeah. So and
strikers, yeah,
and the minimum every club is asking for right now is 60 million.
Yeah, but you see the difference in Watkins' case is this: Watkins hasn't agreed personal terms with Man U. Watkins technically hasn't really publicly said, "I want to leave. I don't want to play for you anymore."
But he has given a goal that Manchester United had to go ahead and let Aston Villa see. One of the things about the deal this season I've seen about Manchester United is that they are only chasing deals that when they get a goal from the player, they know everything is done with the player, which is the normal that everybody is doing.
Let me try a wrench. Let me try a wrench in the works for you.
Okay.
Manchester United wants Watkins.
Yeah.
It's kind of low key. It's not as loud as what we're hearing.
Yeah.
You know who else Manchester United wants? Sesko.
Yeah.
You understand? But for Liverpool, aside from Isak, who else do you think Liverpool wants?
Sesko.
Nobody. There's nobody else. Liverpool wants Isak. Isak wants Liverpool. That case closed. Yeah. I think it's actually very simple.
Seems like a matter of time. Just like Arsenal and Jokers. It was like Jokers didn't want anybody else. Arsenal wants him. It was just a matter of time.
And it's not as if Liverpool is saying, I'm going to pay 80. Newcastle saying, no, we want 120. The Liverpool says, no, I'm going to pay 90. No. Liverpool is saying, we're going to pay the fee. Isak wants. He has already agreed personal terms. It's a no-brainer.
Oh, another team that is suffering right now that probably might relegate is Brentford.
Brentford are suffering. Bournemouth, I'm really worried for Bournemouth because they've lost some really good players. They lost Tyson, they lost Kekes.
Yeah.
I'm happy they were at least able to keep Semenyo because that's like maybe their third best player.
This guy in defense that went to Madrid.
Yeah, Huijsen.
Okay.
Huijsen. Yeah, Huijsen and Kekes. So that's two of their back four. Zabani, who is the second center back who will play with Huijsen, is on the move to PSG, right? They're in talks.
Yeah.
So Bournemouth, I'm really worried for Bournemouth. I mean, the three teams coming up from the championship will have to be significantly weaker again for them to survive because that's what happened the last two seasons, right? The three teams that came up have gone straight back down. So
even Brentford.
But I think I feel like Brentford may be a little worse off because they didn't only lose their star player in Mbomo. I know there are rumors that Wisa is going to go somewhere. They also lost their coach to Spurs.
Okay.
So I think that's a big deal. But yeah, Bournemouth and Brentford, both those two a little shaky. But honestly, I try not to wrap up on that now because we still have a little time for the transfer window to be closed. It
Brentford
takes
have
by to
bought
sweep.
okay though. Like they've brought in Michael Coyote, they brought in Keller to replace
Okay, so they're not
Flecken.
doing too bad.
Wisa is about to leave because he's demanding to
They've
leave.
brought Jadon Henderson back from Ajax. He wanted to come back to England. So I think they've bought okay. They haven't really replaced Mbeumo. Or maybe I guess Michael Coyote was maybe the replacement for that.
Yeah,
But there's a
that's
big
fine.
gap in them losing Norgard.
No,
Yeah.
that
So
is a big
they've
one.
done okay. I think Brentford will be okay. Brentford seem to, be a very stable club. They know how to use data to at least stay in the league and, survive. So I
What about
think
the
Brentford
coach?
will be okay.
What about the coach?
They lost the coach, but
They
the,
lost
the
coach, yeah.
core of the I think the core of the team is still there. Right. It's like you said, it's a philosophy, it's a principle thing for them, right? The way they run the club. So I
Look,
think they'll be fine. I think they should be able to find someone to plug in to continue to operate in the way Brentford operate. Bournemouth,
That's
they
fine.
have a really good coach, but they've lost big players.
yeah, they have.
Even Kepa, who was starting for them, I don't think they've replaced Kepa. They brought in Truffert to replace Kekas, and they brought in Petrovic to replace Kepa.
Kepa. Who, in my opinion, is better than Kepa, but that's a story for another day.
But they haven't replaced Hoyson.
Ison is a big miss.
Yeah, Oisin is a big,
Zabani is about to leave.
that's a big
Those
deal.
are two big misses. So
Yeah, but the thing about it is, we're seeing this thing on surface level because we're not in the clubs. I think they know what they are doing. They know who they are losing. I'm sure they have replacements for everybody they are losing. Now, with replacements click is another story. We'll
okay.
see when the season starts. Because some replacements turn out better than the original, and
Yeah.
some
True.
not close. Like in my opinion, Petrovic is better than Kepa. We're yet to see that, but I can't speak for the others. So yeah, I think we looking at it on the surface level may seem like maybe they are lacking, and of course right now they're playing Man U, they are losing, but you know me, Ayo, you know I'm not a big fan of preseason, even though it plays a part, but I don't think preseason tells us
Ah,
how.
I
no,
see
no, no.
almost everything I need to see in preseason. It tells
Oh,
me so much for me.
preseason is really, really good because that's why you'll be able to know the.
No, it's important to play preseason. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying preseason doesn't determine what happened in the 38 game league.
No, it
That's
does.
my opinion.
It does to the extent that there's very little you can do to change your fortunes once the season gets off.
True.
Yes, but when the
So
season starts,
if you're already looking like a top four team, maybe you can kind of finagle your way and make it to the top. But if you're looking like a bottom half team, there's very little you can do to get into the top six. Right?
yeah,
Man, you have bought
that's a
really
very
well,
big gap.
and we're seeing in preseason from them winning games that okay, they look like they will be back in the top half for sure. If they hadn't done that, we will be seeing it in preseason,
I see
right?
what you're saying. So I think
Yeah,
that's a big gap from bottom team to top six. But what I'm saying is, okay, one, preseason, in my opinion, doesn't really tell us who's going to win the league, even though you guys predicted it last season. I don't think it does. I also think preseason, because when the league starts, the window is not closed.
yeah,
I think what business is done when the league starts to when the window closes, I think is always very, very significant.
agreed. That part is still important. But once the season, like once that window shuts and
That's
preseason is
when trouble
done,
starts
Which
yeah,
is
for those
important.
who are not prepared.
Yeah.
yeah,
And that position is important. If you check Liverpool, Manchester United, like I said, here in the US, Liverpool was all over the place, and that translated to the league.
yeah.
Hey,
And
Man U is beating Bournemouth 3-0 right now.
that was doing this for
Yeah,
you.
that's why I said three. Yeah.
What does that tell you about Man U season
We
coming
are
up?
winning the league.
And on that note,
Yeah, let's go.
thank you guys very much as always. It's been a great conversation tonight, and looking forward to
Thank
to
you
seeing you guys who stayed with us next week.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
very much.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, TG.